Alrighty guys, let's get going. Alrighty guys, we are starting to get a little bit on the outskirts of the airspace here, so I did turn your microphones back on. So please use those to talk to each other too, right? Doesn't just have to be me, yeah. But do remember everybody can hear you though, so no secrets or anything like that on the helicopter. But please do ask me as many questions as you want, or feel free to complain about my flying or make fun of my music or whatever makes you happy with those microphones.
Is that a farm?
Yeah, this is the Mauna Loa macadamia nut farm. The tall trees that you see making up the grid, those are windbreaks. They're big walls and they stop the wind from coming through and knocking the macadamia nuts on the ground before you get a chance to harvest them. Norfolk Island pine trees, the tall windbreaks. Beautiful day to come flying. So you can already see where we're heading. Just off the right nose, way off in the distance, you see the hill with all the smoke coming out of the top of it. That is the Pu'u'o'o vent. That eruption out there has been going on now for 33 years. Started January 3rd, 1983. Hasn't stopped for 33 years now. Guys, how are my volumes for everybody? Everybody can hear me okay?
Yes.
Music's not too loud for anybody?
It's fine.
Do let me know if that changes. I am on a different sound system, so I don't hear what you guys hear. Easy thing to change to, it's just a couple of knobs up here. So please, if something gets too loud or too quiet, don't let it bother you. Just let me know. It's also why sometimes you'll hear me stop talking even mid-sentence. I still do talk to air traffic control. I also talk with all the other birds in the air. So if I don't answer a question, I promise I'm not trying to be rude or ignore anybody. I just need to take care of some pilot stuff from time to time. As you can see a pretty good line off the nose where all the homes begin in the rainforest right here. You can follow that house line. Let me go all the way down to the ocean. That little point in the island is Kaloli Point. And this house line is pretty much the dividing line between Mauna Loa and Kilauea volcanoes. this island is made of 5 different volcanoes, but you just can't tell where one begins and the next one ends, because hundreds of thousands of years, all these lava flows, they've all just intermingled and created one big plot of Earth. So you have to look at a chart, and when you do look at a chart, they'll always divide Mauna Loa and Kilauea right back where their homes start back there. And all 5 of the volcanoes that make up this island, they are all still active volcanoes. This volcano right here, Kilauea, most active volcano on the entire planet. Which means we just build our homes, you know, right up on top of the most active volcano in the world. Orlando, where are you guys from?
From El Paso, Texas.
Oh, so I don't know if you know what these are then. These big white puffy things in the sky?
No, we don't. We don't see those very often. We get 8 inches a year, whether we need it or not, of rain.
We get 200 inches of rain a year here, so you should take some home with you. What's homebrew? How about you guys? Where are you guys from?
We are from Yokohama, Japan.
That's actually pretty close to us over there.
That's right.
Much closer, I think, even than El Paso, Texas. You guys are in the same country, though. But you guys are much different. I'll try to think of a few things in the metric system then, so you'll know what I'm talking about.
Right.
Coming into view of some recent lava flows here, Brianna. You see these 2 black paths that have burned themselves out through the rainforest. These were advancing on this little town. It was just about a year and a half ago. Little town of Pahoa, Mamiko. You can see it just out your window right there. Might have heard about it. Made international news as the lava was approaching town. 3 different times lava came real close to town. Mamiko, go to the furthest black path over there. That's the first lava flow that was approaching town. It's also the one that got the closest. That one stopped 480 feet from downtown Pahoa, about 120 meters. Stopped in a dude's backyard.
That's kind of scary.
A little bit. But that was on the end of October 30th, 2014. And it was about a month after that we had some lava come within about a half a mile of town. And the latest lava flow came within 0.36 miles of town. Stopped advancing on January 28th, so just about a year and a half ago. But everything's returning to normal. They even built that new little roundabout. You see the white road over there? There's a little roundabout. You go there, feel like you're in England, driving around that roundabout there. You know, there is still lava right below the surface right here. It's just not moving anymore. Just below the surface, there's big tunnels, lava tubes. That is the way that lava generally makes its way around the island, is underground. But the reason why it's not moving through these tubes anymore is they collapse down in on themselves. Block the lava flow like a big dam. But these lava tubes, they usually get created on the surface, rather than the lava reusing an old set of tubes that is already below the surface. It'll start out as a red molten lava on the surface and build a lava tube as it comes down. That red lava, it is 2,200 degrees, but it loses over half of its energy within just the first second. In about 2 or 3 seconds, it'll go from 2,200 degrees down to 500 degrees. 2 or 3 seconds. And that's when it gets this layer of rock up on top of it. That layer of rock, though, it's very thin. It's just the very top of the lava flow. But it is thick enough that it traps all the heat below the surface, like an oven. And that's what allows the lava to stay molten below the surface. That's how it builds lava, too, because the lava is still molten, moving below the surface, and it's immediately building up pressure behind that new layer of rock that just got created, until finally the pressure gets great enough, breaks out through the end of the layer of rock, goes down the hill a few more feet, cools, gets another layer of rock on top of it, builds up pressure. So it kind of creeps its way down the side of the hill just inch by inch. So you see how all of a sudden this rainforest just came to a sudden stop, and then it's all barren, black, and gray, and brown. So back before this eruption started in '83, this was all rainforest. But all this destruction, this didn't all happen at once. It's all just been tiny little lava flow after tiny little lava flow. We don't have the really violent, very explosive eruptions like St. Helens had back in 1980, or Vesuvius when it wiped out Pompeii. Our eruptions are much smaller. We're a different type of volcano. So you have to add up all the tiny little lava flows, and if you add them all up, it's wiped out 189 square kilometers of rainforest, about 54 square miles just been destroyed out here.
So all the little, the smoke, is that new or it's like a lava flow?
Yeah, that just started about May 24th. There's a lava tube running down toward the ocean. It's another reason why the lava's not heading toward Pahoa. We're waiting a long time for this one to start. It was kind of starting, stopping for like a year and a half. And now finally it's really organized. It started heading down the hill. And just like the lava cools very quickly out here and gives us the lava tubes, the same thing happens inside the vent. It's constantly cooling, building a lava rock roof, and then that roof collapses. Built a new one, and then that one collapses. So amigos, we'll get a little closer. Look just outside the latest collapse. Underneath that little column of blue-gray smoke, you'll see what we call a skylight. It's a little hole in the roof. And you'll see it glowing orange. You're actually looking at the magma river. That's where this lava tube starts, is right there. And you can actually see the river moving below the surface. There's a big skylight behind the main collapse. There's a lava pond in there. You'll see it churning and bubbling and spattering back there. You can just barely start to see that little skylight glowing orange I was pointing out to Mamiko here, just underneath the blue-gray. When it goes from that dark orange to the really bright orange, that's the river. There's two of them actually coming together. It makes kind of a Y. Keep your eye on it. You'll really see it moving in there. There it is. And the second. Amigo, let's see if we can't get you a better look at that skylight. We kind of blew by it on the way in just because of the way the wind's going here. But you can see that blue-gray smoke coming out of the outside of the main collapse. And again, once it goes from the dark orange to the really bright orange, that's when you see that river running there. There it is.
What the time is hell?
The equipment that you're seeing on the roof, the little tripods you see right up on the edge, those are cameras. Behind that, seismic meters, tilt meters, GPS stations, and then the big solar panels providing power for all the equipment there.
It is amazing.
It's really like nowhere else on the planet, yeah. I get to do this every day. They pay me for this.
Is this a high elevation or no?
So I get the mic a little closer to your mouth there.
Is it a high elevation?
Now we're only about 2,500 feet up here. This is not the summit. We're unique volcanoes in many ways. We can have an eruption anywhere. We do have an eruption at the summit. That's the Umar crater. It's just not producing any lava right now. If you go at night, though, you can see the lava that's contained in the crater glows orange. It's pretty neat. There's even a restaurant right on the rim of the crater there called Volcano House. Good food, too. Good music. You're following the lava tube right now, Mamiko. You see all the smoke continuing down the hill. That's what you noticed, Brianna, as we're coming down. And then, right in line with the smoke, the lava rock's kind of a lighter gray color. Whenever you see that light gray lava, you know it's a relatively new layer of rock. It's going to be, you know, just within about a last week or month or so. And indeed, this lava tube started just a month and a half ago. It's all very disjointed because of that process I was talking about, where that light layer of rock blocks the lava flow for a little bit. It all gets kind of offshoots, and it's not just one big tube, it's several hundred different lava tubes as it heads down the hill here. Sometimes you get skylights out here too. The roof of the lava tube could be really weak and collapse. Just under its own weight. That's one of the many reasons we don't let a lot of people walk around out here, because you add the weight of a person up on top of the lava tube. You come into contact with that lava below the surface, it's a bad day. This has been a really weak spot here on the tube for about the past week. Oh, indeed, there's a little tiny skylight you see just off the right. Let's see. Often when there's one, there's more than one. Let's see if we can find another bigger one. Oh, there's a good one. Oh, two good ones. Look at those right there. I'll come back around. We'll get him out your window here, Mamiko. Oh man, you can really see it running. Look at that river moving right there. I think the skylights are the coolest. Everybody else is always interested in the big lava flows, but I think the skylights are the coolest. There you go, look at it running in there, Mamiko.
What's the surface temperature like?
You know, most of it's not going to have any increase in temperature, just regular old rock. So the only thing that's going to be hot, you'll see some sections, especially as we come toward the edges, really brilliant silver, almost looks like mercury. That's a brand new layer of rock, just created within the last hour or so, and that stuff's still pretty hot. It's about 500 degrees, about 300 degrees Celsius, that really brilliant silver. And for those of you that think the big lava flows are better, I know most people do. The lava's going to really accelerate. Rosemary, see how the cliff really gets much more steep as it falls off the side of it right here? And as the lava spills off the steep part of the cliff, it's going to accelerate right there. And it's harder to cool when it's moving faster. And just like it's harder to freeze a moving river. You get a lot of that in El Paso, right? Frozen rivers. Yeah. Anyway, the same thing happens here. And so if we're lucky, we might actually get some really full length of the cliff here, lava flows.
There's actually no water in the Rio Grande, so...
I'm sorry, what's that?
There's no water in the Rio Grande, so you can't get it frozen.
Is it really gone, completely gone right now?
It's very... you could walk across, yeah.
Wow. There's a good... you see, kind of in the middle, on that black lava rock, that's a good lava flow. Starting about halfway up the hill right there.
How fast is the lava flow, or does it depend on how much there is?
Yeah, it's going to vary pretty greatly. You know, when the lava first breaks out, often it'll get upwards like 30 or 40 miles an hour. But as it cools, it thickens and slows down real quickly. So down here, it looks like it's moving at a relatively good clip. I give it maybe like 10 miles an hour maybe. But as the hill flattens out and moves into the coastal plain, you see how far down it goes. Almost hits the ocean right here. And right now it's only creeping maybe 2-3 inches a day right at the edge of the lava flow out there. There's a couple of smaller ones here too, right at the top. Coming down right here. You can see the higher ones here, Rosemary, straight out your window. In the midst of all that, again, that silver being brand new. Brand new layer rock, and you can see the lava flow starting down the hill right there.
The vegetation that's left, will it eventually die because of the
Sorry,
lava?
shall I get that mic a little closer out there? I can't quite hear you.
The vegetation that's left, will it eventually die because of the lava?
Nope, no, it's been living for like 33 years now, all that stuff. It'll continue. The only time that the vegetation dies is when the lava touches it. And you'd think it'd always burn, but it doesn't even always burn. With our 200 inches of rain a year, everything's just always wet. It's hard to burn wet wood. And so our fires, they don't spread from tree to tree. Sometimes lava will surround a tree, won't burn it, but it'll kill it. And then it'll fall over. If you look toward the edges of the lava flow, it looks like somebody dropped a bunch of matchsticks. That's all just those trees that have fallen over. This is the tip of the lava flow. It's almost into the ocean right here. If it continues at its same speed, maybe just another week or two.
Who travels on that road?
I'm sorry, say again?
Who travels on that road?
This part's closed right here. We built this as the lava was approaching Pahoa. We were worried about it running over Highway 130 because it's right at Pahoa. And that's the only road that brings you this side of that lava flow. So we built another gravel road like this a little further down the hill over in Pahoa along some old railroad tracks. Called that one Railroad Road. But if the lava continued down the hill, it would have wiped out that one too. And so we built this as a third option. If we ever had to use this, people would have had to go all the way to the summit of Kilauea, down Chain of Craters Road, and finally across the lava fields here. Would have taken some people like 3-hour detour. But never had to use it. However, last week when the lava started spilling over the cliff right there, in Hawaiian a cliff is called the Pali. And so as it spills over the Pali there, we opened up a viewing area. You can see them off the nose there, Brianna. You see all the cars. And if you wanted to park right there, you can actually walk. If you look closely, one of the reasons I'm so high right now is you can see some people walking around right on the tip of the lava flow right. If you're going to do that, bring about 3 times as much water as you think you need to. This black lava rock's not hot because of the lava, but it's hot because it's black. And it really drains the water out of you real quick. So you need to bring a lot of water if you're going to hike across the lava field.
I see some people right.
I'm sorry, say again?
I see some people right underneath, yeah, right here.
Indeed, and they just walked across the lava field to go check it out. Amazing how close you can get to the lava there, yeah? Good example of those little groups of trees that you were talking about here, Michelle. You can see, go to the one straight off the nose. We call these little groups of trees kipuka. And if you go straight off the nose, you can see a road running right through that kipuka right there. That road used to run all the way across this cliff. Mamiko, you see a little bit of the same road right out your window. It's the same road coming all the way across. Another one at the top going up and down. This is an old housing development. This is Royal Gardens. They wanted to sell 1,500 homes out here in Royal Gardens.
People want to live here?
They did, yeah. They sold the first homes in 1978. This eruption started in 83. So it's just 5 years. So a big discrepancy on how many homes were built out there. Best I can come up with, somewhere between 40, possibly over 100 homes built and destroyed there in Royal Gardens. And if you're into risky real estate investments, you can still buy land there in Royal Gardens. Seriously. Still for sale out there. And Royal Gardens, it will be a beautiful garden town again. We just need the eruption to stop. Could stop right now. Probably not, but it could. You can see how quickly all the vegetation grows back too. This lava flow right here is from 2007. Some of these trees, just 9 years later, and some of these trees might even be 10 or 15 feet tall already. Of course, this process that we're looking at, this is the process that has built every last square inch of land in the entire Hawaiian Island chain. All the way from here on out to Midway. It's all started out looking like this barren lava rock. Really, you know, geologically speaking, it's not so long ago this beautiful lush green rainforest right here was all barren lava. Last lava flow out here was just about 500 years ago. Which of course to us is a really long time. But to get a fully mature rainforest like this in just 500 years is pretty quick. Most rainforests in the world, they take a couple thousand years to fully mature. But our lava rock is just so fertile. 200 inches of rain a year. First things in the first 3 years, 400 or 500 years. It's just like this, fully mature rainforest. It's not just the rain that keeps us so lush and green. However, certainly you need the rain. Without the rain, doesn't matter what kind of soil you have. But on top of the 200 inches of rain that we get every year, our lava rock is just exceptionally fertile. A lot of nitrogen in the rock, a lot of iron as well. That's how we get all the red rock, the red dirt, the red sand. All the iron in the rock is starting to rust. Certainly plenty of sulfur from all the volcanic ash. That's why everything grows back so big and lush and green and so quickly out here.
Does the vegetation look different from this side and the other side?
Yeah, quite a bit different. They don't get any rain on the other side. So we get 200 inches of rain, about 6 meters of rain every single year over here on this side of the island. Down on the shorelines of Kona and Waikoloa, they only get about 10 inches of rain, about 18 centimeters of rain every single year. Pretty stark difference between the two.
Oh, I see.
if you guys feel right at home over there in Waikoloa. It's all just white and brown shrubs over there. They even got horses. You guys get horses in El Paso? That's where our big ranch is over there in Waikoloa. The Barker Ranch. It's the second largest privately owned ranch in the entire United States. Right out here in the middle of the Pacific.
They've actually got horse racing in El Paso.
Oh yeah? My daughter's really into horses. There's a great ranch right up here called Heart Ranch. It's a couple that actually just volunteers their time and volunteers their horses. And anybody who wants to sign up, they can sign up and do a couple of horses. They have them clean out the stalls and take care of the horses, and then at the end of the day they get to ride for a little bit. Great little organization over there. Never thought my daughter would be a cowgirl, but she's all about it now. So. Guys, bear with me just a sec. I need to switch off for a little bit and talk with air traffic control. I'll get the microphones turned back on just as soon as I can. Alrighty guys, thanks for that. We are just making our way on back into some controlled airspace here. So once again, just like on the way out, do forgive me if I stop talking mid-sentence or maybe ask you to repeat a question. Just be talking with towers, get closer to town here. Pretty good view of Hilo here, Shelley, just off the right nose toward the bay. Big old bustling metropolis of Hilo out here. And surprisingly, Hilo is the second biggest city in the entire state of Hawaii. You can drive from one end of our town to the other in 10 minutes. The second biggest city in the entire state.
So the largest is Honolulu?
That's correct, Honolulu. Quite a bit larger than us. There are 370,000 people over there in Honolulu. even have a university here in the middle of our little town. Rosemary, right out your window toward the center of town, all the red roofs gathered up together. It's the University of Hawaii Hilo. And I imagine if you're a budding geologist, that has to be a pretty good place to go to school. Right? This island is the most geologically active place on the entire planet. Got to be some good hands-on learning there. Around it just off the nose here, you can see there's some tall trees arching around. They almost come to a point, a little green prairie. Lonely white building in that little green prairie. That lonely white building, that's one of our hydroelectric power plants. That gets its power straight from the Wailuku River, which is just on the other side of the plant. In Hawaiian, Wailuku means destructive waters. That river used to flood, wipe everything out. But we have since learned how to harness all that power, and now rather than destroying things, the Wailuku generates enough power for about 500 homes. But anyway, go left up the river. From Miko, just coming into view in the tall trees, you'll start to see some waterfalls. It's one of the few areas of waterfall on the island that you're not allowed to access from the ground. It's private property, owned by the company that owns this power plant. So the only way we get to see these waterfalls are from the air. These are called the upper falls.
I heard there was a secret chord that David played and it pleased the Lord. But you don't really care for music, do you? Well, it goes like this: the fourth, the fifth, the minor fall and the major lift, the baffled king composing hallelujah, hallelujah. Faith was strong, but you needed proof. You saw her bathing on the roof, her beauty and the moonlight overthrew you. And she tied you to her kitchen chair, and she broke your throne, and she cut your hair, and from your lips she drew the hallelujah, hallelujah. Baby, I've been here before. I've seen this room and I've walked this floor. You know, I used to live alone before I knew you. And I've seen your flag on the marble arch. And love is not a victory march. It's a cold and it's a broken hallelujah, hallelujah. Time when you let me know what's really going on below, but now you never show that to me, do ya? But remember when I moved in you, and the holy dove was moving too, and every breath we drew is hallelujah, hallelujah.
Alrighty guys, it is time for us to start making our way on back into the airport here, which means I need to turn I do need to turn off these microphones as we start making our approach. But I do want to thank you guys for flying with us. I have enjoyed being your tour guide today. Once again, my name is Jeremy, and when you do get back into the gift shop, we have a couple places set up to leave some comments. If you guys wouldn't mind letting us know what you thought of your tour, we'd really appreciate that. Blue Hawaiian does have bases here, Waikoloa, which is the other side of this island, Maui, Oahu, and Kauai as well. When you get on the ground, please leave your seatbelts fastened and your headsets on until either I tell you it's time to take them off or the crew comes and opens these doors. Either way is good. And the crew is going to open the doors, so please don't try to do that yourself. And when you get out of the helicopter, never walk backward toward the tail rotor. And please don't spend any extra time underneath these turning rotor blades. Seems everybody always wants to wait for your partner, but please don't do that. Promise the crew will take good care of your partner. Everybody can walk straight ahead. There's that box with the white stripes y'all were standing in when we loaded up. Everybody can meet up at that white stripe safety box, and then the ground crew will walk y'all on back into the gate together. But I do need to turn these microphones off. Just wanted to say thanks one more time, and I'll talk with you guys again just as soon as we get on the ground. Thanks again.
What a wonderful world.
melts like a lemon drops high above the chimney top. That's where you find me, oh, somewhere over the rainbow, way up high. The dream that you dare to, why, oh why can't I?
Hey guys, thanks again. Looks like Lawrence is going to come get us squared away, so give us just a sec. He's going to come get these doors open for us. So Shelly, I do need to remind you one more time and ask you not to pull that emergency handle while we're waiting. Appreciate that. But thanks again, guys. You guys enjoy the rest of your stay. We're good to take off our belts and our headsets now, too.